Hello everybody and welcome to the video notes for Unit 4, Day 9. And today we're going to be practicing with writing division expressions. Last week we practiced writing multiplication expressions and now we're going to be focusing on division. Today's notes are dedicated to Orlando in 6A. Hi Orlando. The first thing that I want us to remember when we're thinking about division is that if you have a number or a variable like a, and you divide it by a number or a variable, something like b, that is the same thing as having a as the numerator in a fraction and b as the denominator. So for today's lesson, keep this in mind right here. A divided by b is the same thing as a over b as a fraction. The other thing that I want us to remember, and you can draw a line to divide this here, is in words we can see that this is the quotient of a and b. And then I want you to underline this word here, quotient. And above it, I want you to put a big division symbol. Quotient, what this word means is it's whatever you get when you divide something. So you know how like sum is for addition, difference is for subtraction, product is for multiplication. Quotient is what you get when you divide two things. With all of that in mind, let's take a look at this first example right here. How can we represent 1 divided by 2? 1 divided by 2. So in words, we can say that this is the quotient of 1 and 2. And if we wanted to represent this in a diagram, we're starting with 1. So I'll draw a block for 1, just like this. And all of this right here is 1. And then if we're dividing it by 2, that's the same thing as splitting it into 2 sections. So we'll split it like this. And then right here, as you can see, if this was a fraction, this would be 1/2. Because we had one whole and we split it into 2 halves. And now we can see that 1 divided by 2 is a fraction is the same thing as 1/2. Now that we've done that one together, I want you to try this one on the right on your own. A divided by 3, write that in words using the word quotient. Draw a diagram. I'll get the diagram started for you, and then you're going to finish it. Your diagram, you're starting with A. So with that, let's pause and then try this on your own. And now you are resuming the video to check your work. In words, a divided by 3, we can say that as the quotient of a and 3. Here's our diagram. We're dividing it, this section of a, into 3 sections. And so one of these sections would be a over 3. That's what it is as a fraction. If you got that right, 3 gold stars for you. Now let's take a look at the bottom part. Write an expression for g divided by the quantity h plus 3. And we're going to write this in 2 different ways. Once using a division symbol and another way using a fraction symbol. So it helps to annotate when we're writing expressions like this. So I'm going to underline, and I have a G, so I'm going to start with the G here. Divided, so I'm going to put a division symbol above there, because I know I need a division symbol for divided. And then, anytime you see the quantity, I want you to think parentheses. The quantity means like some amount in parentheses, so all of whatever this is. And in this case, it's going to be the quantity of h plus 3. So then all of h plus 3 is going to be in parentheses. So it's G divided by h plus 3. What I want you to not get confused with, and on the right side here, I'm going to show you the wrong way. If you don't put the parentheses and you just do G divided by h plus 3, if you remember order of operations, PEMDAS, right? This would mean we would do G divided by h first, and then divided by, and then whatever we get here, all of that divided by 3. But we actually want G divided by everything in this parentheses here. So then as a fraction, what this would be is G as the numerator divided by h plus 3. So to recap, whenever it says quantity, always think parentheses, and it's everything, all of this. That's what we're divided by. All right. And after we've done that example, I want you now to try 2, 3, 4, and 5 on your own. So let's pause and try these 4. And now you are resuming the video to check your work. The quotient of 6 and m, that's the same thing as 6 divided by m. As a fraction, that would be 6 as the numerator and m as the denominator, 6 divided by m. 7 divided by the quantity of x plus y. That's 7 divided by, and then in parentheses, x plus y. So then as a fraction, that would be 7 divided by x plus y. The sum of the quantity h plus 3, so the quantity of h plus h and 3, that's going to be in parentheses, and then we're dividing by 4. So I have h plus 3, all of that is going to get divided by 4. And then as a fraction, in the numerator, that's h plus 3 divided by 4. And here, the quotient of the quantity k minus 10, so quantity, think parentheses, all of this in parentheses, so k minus 10. All of that. And since it's the quotient, we know we're divided by m, from that m. So as a fraction, that's k minus 10 over m. All right. If you got all of that, 4 gold stars for you. And now let's put this all together. So when you're doing these 4 squares on the bottom, each one of these squares are the same value, and they're all equal to each other, but they're just expressing the same expression in different ways. So here we have 5 divided by the quantity of x plus 3 So in words, we can say the quotient of the quotient of 5 and the quantity of x plus 3. So the quotient of 5 and the quantity of x plus 3. That's what we're dividing here. Here it is with the division symbol in long division form. So this is 5, the number that we are dividing, starting with on the inside, and what we're dividing by on the outside. So we're dividing by x plus 3. X plus 3 is going to go over here. And this is the same thing as having 5 as the numerator and dividing that by x plus 3. Five divided by x plus 3, 5 divided by x plus 3, 5 divided by x plus 3. This last one, I'm going to have you do completely on your own. I am not going to show you in the video how to do it, because I want you to show that you've understood some of what we've been doing here. So when you're done, you can finish that, raise your hand, and I can check it for you and give you your raffle ticket. And with that,